On June 18th, you're going to watch one of Pixar's biggest hits, Toy Story 5. But are the theories about this movie actually right?
What?
The truth. One of the strongest theories about this movie's story says that Bonnie, the owner of the toys, will finally discover that the toys are alive. This idea came from fans because the protagonists have never been so close to being abandoned. The truth is that this movie will show a villain that cannot be defeated, technology, and how it is taking up space in the lives of children who no longer want to play with their toys. The theory says that at the end of the movie, Buzz and Woody will reveal the truth to Bonnie and ask her not to throw them away. In this way, Bonnie will feel responsible for the lives of her favorite toys and keep them with her forever. Maybe when Bonnie grows up, just like Andy did in the past, the toys can make another child happy, maybe Bonnie's daughter, and then they all stay together in the same family forever. That would be a perfect ending for the franchise, wouldn't it? Or maybe not, since Pixar will probably make movies about these characters for a long time. What do you think about that? Do you think the fans got this theory right? Let's find out the answer to that question and much more right now. So stay tuned because another Cinewave full of new stuff is starting now. Goodbye. There is another theory that is the heaviest of all. Some fans believe that one of Bonnie's toys will lose their life forever, and that is very intense, don't you agree? Even though it's a dark theory, it makes a lot of sense for a very simple reason. Forky. You should remember that this toy came to life because Bonnie made him at school and loved the fork from day one, and that proves that the characters are only alive because their owners feel love for them. But since the villain is Lilypad and technology wants to take children's attention for itself, what stops the opposite from happening? If Bonnie stops loving the toys, maybe one of them will lose the life they have, and that makes complete sense. Now we just need to know which one will say goodbye to their friends forever. It will probably be her favorite toy. Do you know who it is? Tell us in the comments. Andy. Do you remember Andy? He was the first owner of the toys that are now with Bonnie. This character is very important to the Toy Story universe, and maybe he will return in this new movie. And what does that mean for the new movie? Andy has already grown up, and today he is an adult who probably got married and had some children. And what this theory says is that the toys will leave Bonnie's life and return to Andy's family, probably to make one of Andy's children the new owner of the toys, because Bonnie will lose interest in Woody's and Buzz's friends. And yes, maybe Woody has something to do with this, since this character is back even after leaving with his girlfriend Beth. Woody may have found Andy and will probably take him back to his friends, because only then will they be saved. Would you like to see Andy one more time? Zurg. Buzz's greatest enemy will definitely return in this movie. We're talking about Zurg, the leader of a galactic empire who does everything he can to destroy Star Command. At least, that's what he thinks. You should remember that the Zurg toy disappeared in the second movie when he fell down the elevator shaft. But that doesn't mean he was destroyed, since the movie never answered whether he was gone forever. Because of that, it's very possible that he's back for revenge. On top of that, he may be leading the army of Buzz toys that appear in the leaked images from the movie. And this could be yet another reference to the Star Wars universe, since in the second movie, Zurg said he was Buzz's father, in the same way Darth Vader told Luke Skywalker. And that has everything to do with an army of Buzz Lightyears, because the first stormtroopers were clones. See? Everything is connected. Would you like to see a Toy Story set in space with Buzz and Woody? Comment the hashtag toy so we can get to know you. Clone. Speaking of clones, we believe that an evil version of Buzz will appear in this movie, just like what happened in the Hero movie that was released in theaters in 2022. This wouldn't be the first time Toy Story introduced an evil clone of Buzz, and they're going to do it again based on what we've already seen in the leaked images. But this new theory talks about something different. This evil clone would be different, smarter, and more powerful. And do you know why? The Buzz we know is an old toy. He has existed since the 1990s, about 30 years ago. But what's stopping a new version of this toy line from existing? One that is more powerful and has better technology. This toy could be as smart as the villain Lilypad, with above average intelligence, and be very evil. Maybe he hates children. A toy that doesn't like its owners. That's dangerous. Evil Woody. Now get ready for one of the heaviest theories of all. What if the Woody who appeared in the leaked images and in the trailer is not the Woody we know? Let's remember that in the fourth movie, the cowboy left with Beth, who is his girlfriend. So why would he be back now? Our theory is that Bonnie's family bought a new Woody because she lost the first one. If there are multiple Buzzes, then it's possible that there is another cowboy, but in this case, he may be pretending to be a friend of Bonnie's toys. In reality, he would be an evil cowboy who doesn't like the others and is working with Lilypad to get rid of the other toys. Buzz would realize that he is actually another Woody working for the villain, and in the end, there would be an epic battle where the cowboy would be defeated. This theory actually makes sense because the real Woody must be very far away from his old friends. But what do you think?
Computers. What if the toys end up moving into the internet?
That's not such a crazy thing to think about. If you pay attention to the Toy Story universe, you'll realize that in this world, toys exist to do good for children, which means they go wherever their owners are. And if the story is going to show Bonnie paying more attention to a tablet, why wouldn't Woody and the others have the power to enter the internet? Do you think that makes sense? Let's wait and see to discover the truth. Island. But maybe, in the end, the toys will realize that their path is a different one. Maybe at the end of the story, they decide to move to an island and follow the path Woody chose, the one where they live free from humans. This theory is one of the saddest ones, but it actually makes sense. If the world has changed and children no longer feel happy with toys, then it makes sense for them to follow their own path. In the last movie, Woody decided to leave because he realized he would be happier, and this could now be the choice of all the toys in the world. They will move to an island ruled by toys and live happily away from this life of being abandoned by their owners. This could be the end of the Toy Story franchise. What do you think about this theory?
Ever thought about always having new animation content on your feed? Just subscribe and hit the bell.
The villain. But what if the villain wins? That's not so hard to believe. Maybe you don't know what Lilypad's real plan is, but we're going to tell you. The villain is a tablet that wants to compete with toys for children's attention. But unlike Woody and Buzz, she is not a toy. She's a type of computer. Lilypad dreams of being the only one with humans' attention, and that's why she's putting together a very evil plan. She and all the other tablets, cell phones, and computers in the world are working together to steal everyone's attention. That's why this villain is stronger and more dangerous than the other antagonists. And how is she going to carry out this plan? It's simple. Lilypad will convince Bonnie and all the other children in the world to throw their toys away, because she can give the girl everything she wants without needing the others. Bonnie is growing up, and Lilypad can help with that. Want to listen to the most famous band of the moment? Lilypad can help. Want to talk to your friends? Just ask Lilypad. Want to buy the best makeup? Search on Lilypad. Do you see how this villain is impossible to defeat? So you'd better get ready, because Lilypad might be the worst villain in Toy Story.
Adults. You know what an action figure is, right? It's a toy that adults buy for themselves. In today's world, we've discovered that there are many adults who like to collect toys. And that's important because this might be the future of our toys. In the second movie, we saw that one of the villains was a man who liked collecting toys from Woody's toy line, and he would become very rich by selling the cowboy along with Jessie to a museum in Tokyo. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but until then, we're going to tell you a bit more about this new theory. What's stopping Bonnie's toys from being adopted by an adult who likes toys? If the girl is going to grow up and stop caring about her toys, just like Emily, Jessie's first owner, and Andy did, then maybe there could be another owner for them, an adult who, even after growing up, still likes toys. Buzz and Woody would definitely be action figures, don't you think? Maybe they could be bought at some Comic-Con. That makes total sense. Museum. But maybe the toy's destination in the fifth movie will be the Tokyo Museum. Do you remember that idea? Woody is a famous toy that is worth a lot of money to some collectors. Maybe the ending is the toys realizing they'll be more loved if they go to a toy museum. But if that happens, there's a problem. The villain of the second movie, Stinky Pete, already had that desire and was defeated by our heroes because of it. And if now Woody and Buzz want to go to a museum, it would be the same as proving the antagonist right. And that's kind of sad, isn't it? It's the same as canceling the entire conflict of the second movie. But it could make sense because the world has changed. And with that, we could get a big surprise. We talked about Zurg's return, but what if Stinky Pete also shows up in this story? The return of old villains could be exactly what this movie needs. What do you think about that? Hidden villain. Speaking of villains, don't you find it strange that everyone keeps talking about Lilypad and how she's an antagonist unlike anything else? What if, in reality, she's not who we think she is? Pixar likes to surprise people, and that's why we think there could be a hidden villain who hasn't appeared in any promotional images yet. It could be one of the options we talked about today or something else entirely. Do you know what it could really be? Another child. Since the first movie, we haven't seen a villain who is a child,
world, and this theory makes a lot of sense. But it's a shame we'll have to wait a few months to know the truth. Luckily, you have our channel to help pass the time. Take the chance and watch the 2 videos we left on the screen. I'm sure you'll have fun. See you soon.